Hello guys and welcome back to another Meds Cast, the Path to Glory 2v2 tournament hosted by Bronzepanic. Today we've got Series 4 and it's between Criticalmeds and Bruzer versus Trionega and Khanomancer. Let's get on with it. Hello guys and welcome back to Series 4 Game 1. We have Bruzer in the top left in yellow, Criticalmeds in the bottom left in teal, Trionega in the glorious white in the bottom right, and Khanomancer in the top right as red. As we can see, this map's Zodiac. We've seen it a few times already now. I can imagine we're going to see it quite a lot because it is a well played map now. Let's get into it. Everybody opting for that MCV move as we've seen before. We do like to get a bit further down into this tib zone, or a bit further up into these tib zones. We will get into the scout game and we'll see the perspectives of the scouts.
Unit ready. Building.
Most GDI will open about 10 grenadiers. Some people do like to open with 5 riflemen as well as the extra grenadiers. They're good for scouting, not so good at anti-scout. You could probably have like 4 or 5 in a choke and people still manage to get scouts through. As you can see, they're not too great at killing stuff unless you get right on top of them.
Construction complete. Unit ready.
Bruzer opting for quite a lot of anti-scout.
Unit ready. Building.
Khanomancer sending an infantry across the bottom, left mid, try and get behind both Bruzer and Criticalmeds.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Trionega is opting for them extra grens. Khano isn't really building that much anti-scout. He does need to be careful.
Unit lost.
Because there is a lot of grens from Bruzer. He could push with these if he knew how little defense Khano had right now. He does have the Apache. The Apache does get good value against grenadiers. He can kill around 5 to 6 grenadiers in one full load of ammunition. Criticalmeds is trying to push up to Trionega now. We do see 4 ref from all the GDI players. And Khano's opting for a 2 ref strip. This is quite a safe build. You can go buggies and still get the 3rd ref behind it without really running out of any money. So we're probably going to see a buggy first. This is nice for Bruzer to get up on the strip though. Get the damage on the buggies quite early. Not too much happening in the south between Criticalmeds and Trionega at the minute. Khanomancer doing well to micro this buggy. Make sure the grenadiers are away from the strip, which does buy him time for the other buggy to get down without really getting damaged. We do see a war factory from Bruzer first, out of the GDI players. We don't see a 3rd ref from Khanomancer yet, so we will be running out of money, I can assume. Does still have £1,000, but that is generally because he underbuilt scouts at the start of the game. Trionega now holding on to this 4th ref. We'll see how well he keeps on holding it for now. Criticalmeds is trying to kill it. It is a point of contention right now. Khano with a 3rd ref. Tanks are coming out for Bruzer now, so that is big for him. They will counter these buggies really well and obviously keep this harvester alive into the mid game. Doesn't look like Criticalmeds is losing a lot of grenadiers trying to go for this ref, but it is a big point that he needs to take. We do see Khano trying to get a bit of scouting done on Bruzer. We'll see what he's seen. He's seeing the 2 war factories. He knows what's happening. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets a couple of turrets down, builds bikes from now. Trionega opting for the Humvee. He has got the Humvee scout on the 2 war factories. As you can see, for Bruzer and Criticalmeds, they have seen what they need to see. The strip, the 2 war factories. Bruzer is now pushing up with those tanks. It's what he needs to be doing while there's barely any bikes on the field. He's going to get that ref. Trionega still holding on to this ref, so he's done really well. And the tanks are coming in now, and he hasn't got many tanks to defend. Bruzer still pushing up into Khanomancer. He has got that turret and the bikes now, but he does need another hand and nod to get rid of these grens. We do need to see flamers on the field. do see a little bit of a tank skirmish between the two players down here. Obviously, he has that reinforcing barracks. Not sure why he sold it. He did need some Grens out there just to thin these Grenadier numbers down. He is behind in tank count for now. He does have an idle harvester, which isn't helping too much. He's going to go for the squishes. It's very good to go for squishes with harvesters that aren't really being used at the time. Looks like Criticalmeds and Bruzer did opt for a 4F2 War Factory all in together. Does look quite calculated. Trionega's struggling here. He has lost a lot of his eco on the south side. He does have the 2 War Factories, but not the 2 ref won't back it up very well. Khano's also down to 2 ref as well, so he can't really build bikes at this moment in time, but he does need them to survive. He'll probably only be able to afford buggies at the moment. Looks like this game is pretty much over. Both Khanomancer and Trionega are suffering on the money count. Bruzer trying to find that Apache so he can keep his infantry alive a little bit longer. Obviously, if the infantry survive a bit longer, they can kill the bikes harassing the tanks. Trionega desperately trying to survive. Their tanks are still coming out. I think this is going to be it. There is a lot of reinforcing Grenadiers from Criticalmeds. Khano's lost his strip and a hand and nod. He's down to just the MCV now. It's going to be game soon. No production left for Trionega. I do like this white. That's one thing you will see. I am using a mod to see the zoomed out version of these maps. Obviously it makes it a lot easier for casting 2v2s. So we do see that white every now and again. You won't find it on multiplayer or anything, so that is quite entertaining. But you do see it in the original CNC. I don't know what colour they actually swapped it out for, whether it was like player 7 or 8 that had the white, I'm not sure. I'm sure someone could tell me that. But yeah, that was two War Factory all-ins from Criticalmeds and Bruzer, both on 4F. It is a very powerful build. Obviously, it's one of them ones that ramps up into a lot of tanks, and a lot of tanks can create a lot of situations that are really hard to deal with. Obviously, the first player to crumble, then both tanks converge on the last player, so it is really hard to stop. Both players should have probably turtled a little bit more. Khano did need more turrets. He did see the 2 War Factories, so he should have probably reacted a little bit better to that. But he had hampered his resources early game without getting that 3rd ref early enough. Trionega obviously did match the 4 refs, but Criticalmeds did keep the pressure on, and he was using the harvester to squish, so he did fall behind in the resources there as well. So that is game 1, and it does go to Rack D, Criticalmeds and Bruzer. Let's take a look at the scoreboard.
Battle control terminated.
As you can see, that 2 strip there, the 2 ref without getting the 3rd one early really did hamper his eco. Does get one of the highest kills in the game, but it was a lot of Grens that he killed with that Apache. Trionega did get the resources, but lost out in the mid game. Criticalmeds just a little bit behind on Bruzer there as well, but the higher kill count. Right, let's get into game 2. And just like that, guys, we're in game number 2 between Criticalmeds, Bruzer, and they're against Trionega and Khanomancer. We do have Khanomancer in the red, Trionega in the white, Bruzer in the teal, Criticalmeds in the yellow. This is AOD Surfs Up. We've seen this one a few times as well. Mod is pretty high eco, so a lot of players do like it. We don't often like the all-in builds on low eco that much. It does just come down to the micro in that case. Where a lot of players do like to go macro, they do like to go the 4, 5, 6 ref style. 6 refs obviously optimal for your double airstrip or War Factory, as well as being able to build infantry and continue your structure building. Right, we do see the scouts coming out now. We'll have a look at Khanomancer's vision. Granny's going to get in. You can obviously see Trionega sending up a Grenadier as well. Oh, Grenadier didn't get in. But he also hasn't managed to get into Criticalmeds space either. Again, he has only built 5 flamers. So he is underbuilding scouts and anti-scouts. It can be kind of abused by a GDI player. If you get rid of the flamers and force him to build more, it can delay the strip. He has opted for a free ref this time. Probably learned from his mistake in game 1. Bruzer's obviously opted for that Apache as well as Khano, but here the Grens come. Look, he's underbuilt flamers, so these Grens are going to get in from Criticalmeds. Not much happening on the south side. Bruzer is coming up to help Criticalmeds clear out some of these flamers. Smart idea. Still a few Grens doing what they want. He has forced Khanomancer to build another hand and nod before a strip, so his strip's going to be really delayed now. We do see the Flamer and Gren fights between Bruzer and Trionega on the bottom here. Criticalmeds now on 4F. Khano opting for the second Apache. He knows that 2 Apaches will kill Grenadiers off really fast, which is a good choice. But again, his strip's really delayed. Trionega's now on 4F, 1-4 War Factory. Bruzer's just hit his strip with the free ref. Criticalmeds opting for an Orca, which is interesting, especially against this many Apaches on the field. He will want to try and get those. Bruzer now on the 4 refs. Got plenty of buggies on the field. He should probably be using these to just maybe have harass or perhaps get a proper scout. He hasn't got a proper scout of his opponent yet, so he can probably send one through. Criticalmeds opting to expand up to the top before Khanomancer, which is interesting. GDI will favour crawling into Nod in this situation, especially when the airstrip's relatively close. There's one tank coming in now from Criticalmeds. Back up with a bike as well from Bruzer, and the Grenadiers on the north side. The Apaches are in a bit of trouble with that bike in the mix though. Grenadiers are sat on top of his strip. He can't really go for bikes at the minute. They will get annihilated by those Grenadiers as they come down. We do see Trionega pushing onto Bruzer. Them tanks are going to mince up the buggies on the south there. He will need bikes soon, otherwise these tanks will just roll over Bruzer. Khanomancer still opting for the bikes. With a barracks this close, it's probably not the best choice. Could be going for buggies instead and leave the turret to deal with the tank. Sokka's dealing a bit of mayhem, and he will probably die to that bike. Ooh. Trionega really getting into Bruzer now, really getting up on that strip. His main objective is to get those tanks in that strip. Once the strip goes, he hasn't got any bike backup. The only thing that's going to kill these tanks are rocket men and turrets. And rocket men aren't too good when Grenadiers are about. And neither are turrets. It does look like he's going to get that strip, which is big. Criticalmeds is pushing Khanomancer's strip at the same time. He did get the strip, that's massive. These tanks are going to be more than valuable to Trionega now. He has gone for the 2 War Factory 4 ref, but he hasn't gone all in yet. Criticalmeds now on 6 ref, 1 War Factory. He has forced Khanomancer to sell that strip with an engineer. Cheeky engineers. Bruzer just now clearing up some of the dregs of the tanks that did get through, but he's still pushing at the front door. Criticalmeds still applying the pressure onto Khanomancer. He doesn't want him to get out. Just keep him in that corner. Trionega still not built anything, but kept his MTV, which is very interesting, because he could probably do that extra cash just to beat Bruzer out. There we go, we see it now. Criticalmeds still on that 6th ref. Don't really know what he's building. He could be building another War Factory. Khanomancer's desperately trying to get that strip up. He does have the money. Criticalmeds has got quite a lot of tanks in his base at the minute, which he needs to deal with. He's opting for the rocket men just until he strips up. Does Criticalmeds see that strip? He does, so he can go for it. Trionega's still trying to help out Khano with this little tank counter through the centre. Bruzer has managed to hold it Trionega back for now. He does have a lot of hand and nods. They have very good defensive buildings. You can treat them a lot like a defensive structure themselves anyway, because the way flamers pop out, you could massacre some infantry. Trionega is trying to keep Khanomancer back in this game. Trying to get rid of the tanks on top of the strip. But he's getting bikes, so he's going to clear up Criticalmeds' tanks for now. Criticalmeds still hasn't put a structure down for a while. Trionega with a back attack on Bruzer through the centre. Bruzer doesn't really have any anti-tank here. The Flamers could kill themselves if they chunk up. He does need to be careful. Ooh. Criticalmeds is pushing Khanomancer's strip now. This is a lot of tanks from Trionega. I can't really see Bruzer doing much here. He does need to keep the MCV alive because he will need turrets to survive. The MCV's gone, he didn't even manage to get a cell either. He did get a power out, maybe he needed that. It did look like he was in low power for some amount of time. Criticalmeds still pushing this strip. Kano's only on bikes, so these grenadiers are going to be massive. They do need to defend these tanks while they kill the strip. He has got a lot of grenadiers. He has sold the MCV as well, so he did go 6 ref, 1 war factory. Bruzer is now losing the majority of production. He can't build vehicles anymore. Kano going for a dive on Criticalmeds' war factory. There is a tank there to support it. Ooh, it's not repairing it. The tank is shooting the infantry and not the bike. Criticalmeds is also trying to micro here against these flamers. Kano's still holding on. That war factory is nearly going down. Trionega still trying to finish off Bruzer at the same time. He does have a couple of weakened tanks, but that's a lot of flamers. They will take out them tanks pretty quick. Unless they kill themselves like that. Barbecue boys. Criticalmeds luckily survived with that war factory on red HP. It does have that Orca as backup. We do see grenadiers coming through the middle. It is sped up. I will slow down 1 second. See, that's the only problem with flamers when tanks get close, is they do friendly fire in that cone. Do you see a skirmish of grenadiers straight through Kano's base to Trionega? He does want to get these war factories out of the way, because GDI versus GDI, if you're 1 war factory down, you're going to get out tank produced, and if you get out tank produced, you're going to die. So his main objective is to get out one of those war factories down. Maybe both of them. Both of them will be really good. He's getting on top of it. He's going to go for it. We do see a counter-attack from Bruzer in the south as well. Ooh, well, he managed to get one of the war factories, so they are both from 1 war factory now. There's a lot of grenadiers to stud about. I think Trionega's getting fed up with Bruzer now. He's trying to bring these tanks back in to kill him off completely. See Criticalmeds still trying to get rid of Kano. Kano's doing really well to hold on with such a small amount of flamers. Criticalmeds is sending a nice tank force through the middle now. Trionega also has a lot of reinforcements, so he's going to push through to the centre and get rid of a lot of Bruzer's infantry. Bruzer does only have the hand and nod left. If he loses this, he can't build anything else. He will be out of the game. He will be out of the game now. So players that are hanging on like this, they can half harass, they can stick harvesters on your opponent's refs and block them. But other than that, all they're doing is making money for no reason. Criticalmeds could go and capture these refs and get that extra bit of income. We do see the double Orca from Criticalmeds. He's probably had a bit too much money and spent on an extra Orca as backup. But it's still anybody's game. There's a lot of tanks coming in from Criticalmeds, and he'll want to be getting that war factory. It's the same kind of objective for both Kano and Trio. If they get this war factory, it's going to be really hard for Criticalmeds to bring this back. We do see Bruzer going for them harvester harass. We do see that war factory getting shut down by the tanks and the minigunner. That is down now, so Trionega and Kano are only infantry only. Criticalmeds has got a couple of engineers here. I wonder what it's going to do. It looks like it's going to go take Bruzer's refs. Trionega desperately pushing through the middle now to counter-attack. Criticalmeds is going to lose his forward barracks to Khanomancer, which isn't too good. These Orcas are going to come in handy now. They will pick down the tanks. It'll make the tank fights a lot easier for Criticalmeds. Bruzer still being a nuisance with his harvesters. Criticalmeds has captured one of Bruzer's refineries, but there isn't many harvesters here now, so there's no real point in him capturing them refs unless there's a harvester in there. You see Trionega really pushing now, trying to get rid of as much as he can of Criticalmeds' base. Criticalmeds has lost a north expansion to Kano and barely holding on to that power plant. Criticalmeds has captured these extra refs down here now. This is getting to be a really close game. But Med still has that war factory, which is going to help him in the long run. The longer this game goes, the better. As you can see in 2v2s, it is very hard to get rid of an opponent. In a 1v1 situation, this opponent would have tapped out by now. But they are still helping Trionega out and get into a better situation. Obviously, now that Trionega has beat Bruzer out of the game, even if this is a small base, it's still better than nothing. We do see some squashes on those Grenadiers from Criticalmeds' Harvester. He's trying to get rid of this ref at the top with a little contingent of Grenadiers. Oh, no player's not watching the Grens, they are going to die. Do you see both tank forces moving to the middle now? There could be a big fight coming. The Orcas are chipping away at these tanks. But there is a lot of Grenadier support. There's going to be a lot of Flamers soon as well. Them Flamers killing themselves worked out very well for Criticalmeds. That Harvester was taking a bit of damage. Idle Harvester there as well for Criticalmeds. He's going to have to micromanage quite a lot at this minute. As well as Eco, as well as the fights with Khanomancer and Trionega. The micro with the Orcas isn't too easy to either. It's a lot like Nod using a couple of Apaches. That's a big grand force from Trionega. It does look like he's going to kill off this south expansion. He's opting to kill off that south expansion. That Harvester desperately trying to get some squashes. Same with these tanks. These tanks are in here. He is going for the power, which is a smart choice. But I don't think Trionega has much money anyway, so there's no real point in going for the power. He could just go for the barracks. Tanks do kill power plants pretty quick. They are very squishy. Obviously the Orca support as well. Get rid of those power plants. Do you see Kana still buying them flamers and going for the harvester snipes? Very smart. Without the harvesters you have no money, so you can't win the game with no money unless you have a big force ready to counter attack. Again, all the flamers just killing themselves shooting harvesters. It's a shame really. You do really need to split them up. Make sure they're going for different targets. Obviously don't get them stacked on top of each other because that will happen. Same with Grenadiers. Not watching your Grenadiers, this will happen. All just dying for no real reason. Criticalmeds did lose a lot of troops there. If you look at the kill count, Trionega has been very dominant this game. He did put Bruzer down onto infantry only, so that will be a lot of infantry kills, especially as with it being Criticalmeds on quite a lot of infantry as well. Khanomancer doing really well to get 160 kills. He has been on just infantry tech most of the game as well as Bruzer. Criticalmeds now opted to go for the production of Trionega. Once the production is gone, the players are gone himself. The only thing he can do is use the harvesters to harass. So it's just Criticalmeds versus Kano now. Kano's been pretty out of the game for a while. Just stuck on that infantry tech. Doesn't like Trionega selling up. That is his last building, and so all of his units will disappear, and Kano's tapped out as well. So game 2, that does go to Criticalmeds and Bruzer. Very interesting fight. Kind of 1v2 at the end, but Kano obviously wasn't a full force, so that did work in Criticalmeds' favour. Let's check out the scoreboard.
Battle control terminated.
So you can see that 6 ref from Criticalmeds, because he did keep it for quite a while. It did make a massive impact on resources gathered. Obviously Kano and Bruzer were pretty pinned down from the get-go, losing strips, so they were on infantry tech for a long time, and that's where the majority of the kills from Criticalmeds and Trionega come from. So that's 2-0 to Criticalmeds and Bruzer. let's get into game 3. And welcome to game 3, guys. This is game 3 between Criticalmeds and Bruzer against Khanomancer and Trionega. We do see Bruzer in the bottom left in red, Criticalmeds in green on the left, Trionega in the top right with yellow, and Khanomancer in the bottom right with orange. This is Steps of War, the smallest map in the pool. We do see some exciting games on here, and I'm sure this is going to be a good one as well. Criticalmeds did opt for a MCV move, so Trionega did move his across a little bit as well, and we did see basically insta deploys from Khanomancer and Bruzer. Right, here goes a scout game. Take Trionega's view. Criticalmeds does get that Grenadier in early, does get the scout. Bruzer also nearly getting the scout as well. That Flamer is going to catch him. We do see a lot of Grenadiers. There's quite a lot of harassment. We do see a lot of GDI players opening this 10 to 15 Grenadier style. It is to chop down some of these Flamers early game. Bruzer opting to be a little bit more defensive with his Grenadiers. We do see the 2 ref from each player. Apache from Trionega. Khano on the 3 ref now. The other person not on 3 ref is Trionega. He's farming up those kills with that Apache. He's on 12 kills now. Make that 13, 14. He's doing very well to get rid of them Grenadiers. Bruzer now opting to push forward with the Grenadiers as well. Khano getting that Apache. So there is 2 Apaches on the field. They will clear up a lot of this infantry versus 2 GDI. Bruzer opting for the second barracks. He might be looking to do an infantry push. Infantry push would be very smart. He does have all these Grenadiers, and Khano only has 2 Flamers. And he does know there's only 2 Flamers there. Maybe there is some in the Shroud, but it's worth taking the fight just to get in on that MCV. He has seen the MCV. Criticalmeds has seen the Apache strip MCV and handed on, so he's seen everything he really needs to. He is on 5 refs. This is normally quite a aggressive build. If you go 5 ref, you do have to go for some kind of infantry build just to keep the nod away from you, basically. Bruzer opting for that 4 ref still, so he's probably building a war factory right now. Khano might be getting his 4th ref in the south. Trionega still on 2 ref. He hasn't opted to go for that 3rd ref. Oh, he has. That's why he's basically out of money. Bruzer is going for that ref right now with the Grenadiers. He's losing them all to the Tib, Flamers and Harvester, as well as that Apache from Khanomancer. It's very, very good teamwork. Criticalmeds has got behind the MTV, and he does get it. Trionega unluckily not getting the sell on it in time. So he's now stuck on 2 or 3 ref strip. Khanomancer is now on his 4th ref. Handing on defensively, that's very good. Those Grenadiers are going to probably get that ref otherwise. Trionega desperately trying to keep hold of this ref. If he does go down to 2 ref, he's going to lose the majority of his eco, especially into the mid game. Trionega opting just for bikes now. He does see only tanks from Bruzer, so that is the right response. Bruzer should probably have a few infantrymen with these tanks. They do need a bit of support, because when these bikes jump on him, you can say bye bye to your tanks. And there they go, look, easy kills for bikes, very well microed. That's 2 tanks for nothing. Up comes the war factory from Criticalmeds, but there isn't a lot to deal with these buggies. These buggies are going to go for the dive. Bruzer pushing with the Grens on the south, which is good. Kind of don't really have much to deal with those Grens at the minute. We do see a defensive Humvee from Criticalmeds to try and keep this war factory alive. It's going to die. The Apache does get the kill. The Criticalmeds making a blunder there because he did sell the MTV after getting the war factory. Probably wasn't the best idea. Bruzer now on 2 war factory. Again, he is against bikes, so he does need to prioritise infantry over tanks right now. Khano is going for a dive on Criticalmeds' base. Criticalmeds can't really stop this. There's nothing really in the back to stop this. He's just going to keep pushing on to Trionega. Bruzer coming to try and defend with these tanks, but they are a bit too slow. These bikes are going to do too much damage by the time the tanks catch up to the bikes. Criticalmeds eco is just getting absolutely destroyed by Khanomancer right now. He does need to save that ref. He should probably repair it. He hasn't got a lot of money. And he's going to lose it. So he's now only on 2 ref. Trioancer opting for the artillery. Very good choice. He knows he's only going to be against infantry now. Those artillery will rack up the kills when played in a defensive position. Bruzer is going to push with these tanks. Tanks are very good at this in this situation now, especially against artillery and buggies. He could probably get this strip kill. It depends how well Khano defends against these bikes for Trioneger. It doesn't look like he's coming to support him. Bruzer with a lot of idle units right now. He could be doing something with these. Again, Trioneger going for the back attack while obviously opponents in his base. Khano doing a very good job picking off these tanks for Trioneger while he sticks to his anti-infantry. Both now playing very well together. Do you see Bruzer trying to push into Khano? Criticalmeds is pretty much out of this by the looks of things. It won't have as much power anymore. It's only got 2 refineries. There's a lot of tanks from Bruzer. This could kill Khanomancer. He really needs to just get in there, kill the turret, kill the strip. Don't really need to kill hand and nod when tanks are around, unless you're trying to support the infantry. Those bikes are going to be a menace while trying to get rid of this turret as well. You do want to go for bikes in this situation because they will die a lot faster than turrets, and you do want to mitigate damage against your tanks. So obviously going for them bikes is a better option. They do die very fast. Criticalmeds barely hanging on now. He does have a lot of buggers in his face, and he does only have an infantry to build. The Apache is still alive. It's probably going to try and get a lot of kills this game. Bruzer not really sure what to do with his tanks. He wants to help Criticalmeds, but he also wants to defend himself at the same time. He doesn't want to die to the bike dives. Khano and Bruzer looking in a very similar situation. They're still both 4F. Bruzer does have the production bonus for the tanks because he does have 2 war factories. Criticalmeds is now getting annihilated by these buggies. We do see a ref fall from Khano, so that's good for Bruzer. But there is a lot of bikes still. He does need the infantry support. Sometimes it's worth stopping your tank production just to get a few extra grenadiers, because the bikes can't really jump on top of the tanks if grenadiers and minis are close. So we'll just melt through them. Trioneger just finishing off Criticalmeds, trying to get rid of that last production building. Khano also sniping the harvesters, but we'll just skip that back a little second. Bruzer does need to be targeting the weak bikes first. Again, it's all about damage mitigation. You've got to figure out what's the best thing to target at the time. It is very difficult to deal with when you focus on everything else. Not only that, trying to click a bike that's moving pretty fast is a challenge in itself. Sometimes you can misclick and unclick your tanks. That can cause a bit of problems. I feel like Bruzer's done very well this game. Just the grenadier support really needs to get on top of those tanks. Both Nod players playing very well together. Khano obviously backing up the buggers with the bikes when he needs to, and giving Trioneger a chance to live, which is very well done. Trioneger now going for the war faction of Bruzer. Bruzer is only on the infantry now. The bikes only need to clear these tanks up. And Khano could opt for a comms at that point and go flame tanks, and Bruzer would be dead. So that was game number 3, and it has gone to Trioneger and Khanomancer, so it's nice to see a little bit of a comeback. We don't want to see 3-0s, they're not particularly that fun to cast. We do like the comeback stories, so let's see what happens in game 4. Just after the scoreboard. As you can see there, Trioneger on that low eco, but managing to farm enough infantry to stay alive. That 5-ref GDI will have a mass influx of infantry, so that's probably a pretty reasonable kill count to survive against that GDI style. and Bruzer and Kano are pretty much on par. I think Kano obviously taking the better fights because of his kill ratio. Let's get into game 4. I'm excited to see what happens. And welcome to game 4, guys. This is 6-shooter showdown. It's a very tight, choky map. You can get punished by not building very well. There is small chokes into the tip zones in the corners. There is only one entrance point, so you do need to get this right. You can opt to crawl in with a silo and get a ref inside. But the main focal points are the corners, the back Tiberium. You can opt to have one player take this, or if both players take it, they only need one ref on this. And there's quite a bit in the middle as well. Obviously very claustrophobic. You do need to be careful. Let's see how it goes. Right, we have Criticalmeds in the red in the bottom right, Bruzer in the top right in yellow, Trioneger in the green on the left, and Khanomancer in the teal in the bottom left. There we see, looks like Kano is going to put himself in a bit of trouble. I don't think he can get a ref in there. That isn't big enough to get a ref in. He's blocked himself from getting a ref down there now. He is going to have to opt for that back side. Trioneger with an MCV move that's allowed him to get this back Tiberium earlier, which is quite nice. Might be a little bit selfish if your teammate did want to get a ref on here. You're not going to get it very close now. But I'm guessing these guys know what they're doing. They are a 2v2 team and they will have practiced. So maybe Trioneger does get that one anyway. Bruzer getting a nice ref in there. You can harvest the Tiberium just above it and get a second one in there. Quite a long distance mining ref. It was probably supposed to be for this one, but it has started mining in the southwest. Criticalmeds, double barracks, double ref. This is more of a aggressive crawl. Here comes that third ref, managing to get it just snug in that little choke. All players on free ref now, but Khanomancer. I can imagine Khanomancer's going for that strip. He did get the ref down there. He probably. I'm guessing he got the main harvester to harvest it, but now he's got the problem with having two harvesters down here and long distance mining. And he hasn't realised, I don't think. So Khanomancer's going to be really struggling for eco in this early game. You do see the strip from Bruzer helping him crawl through to this centre part. He has blocked off his ref. His ref can't harvest anymore. That strip has completely blocked the ref. So we will have to mine this bit. You know, it's quite interesting. Obviously, if you're a nod player, you might want to just put a silo down and then the strip, or a bit of wall. Let's have a look at the scouting. So Kano and Trio, they can see this strip here, but not much else. Criticalmeds and Bruzer haven't really seen too much either. We do see the buggies out from Kano now. He is on a two ref strip, so these will be quite early for a GDI to deal with. Opting for the minigunner defense. There is only a 2-tile choke there, so the minigunners will do quite well in defense. Trioneger on a very nice 4 ref. I do like this ref position. It does look like he's been practicing this map. We do see the tank out now for Trioneger as well. Criticalmeds going for a 3 ref double war factory. It's coming all in. There it goes. Possibly taking advantage of the fact that Kano is only on a 2 ref strip. You can tell if someone's on a 2 ref strip just by how many buggies there are so early. He has opted for the flame tanks. It's probably assuming Criticalmeds is going to go for that infantry ball that he did in the last game. Fortunately he hasn't. He's gone for a 3 ref 2 war factory. We do see Trioneger now pushing on Bruzer. He does see the strip, and that is a big point for GDI to go for. Bikes aren't really going to help in this situation with the Grenadier so close. He does get the second strip down. So trying to keep this strip alive as long as possible and just pick off the important stuff is really good. These tanks are really rolling up on Kano now. He has managed to force an MCV cell from Kano. Now there's a lot of tanks. There's 9 tanks on the field now. You see a couple of buggies in the back from Kano trying to snipe the power. Criticalmeds hasn't noticed, I don't think. There's one tank attacking that. Kano in a lot of trouble really. There's a lot of tanks. We do see Bruzer helping Criticalmeds to take out this strip, as well as defending at home with just bikes. which is interesting. There's a lot of grenadiers there. He does need a hand and nod. A hand and nod will save him from the grenadiers. There's a bit too many tanks for Kano to deal with. He is out now because there's no production left. He does only have a few buggies left to see what he can do with them. Trionega's still pushing hard on Bruzer. That is a lot of grenadiers. That ref will go down. So, same with that power plant. If the target's hit, that power plant will go down pretty quick. There is a lot of tanks out now. We see 10 of them just sat outside Trionega's south side. He does have the double war factory himself, but he is behind in tank counts. Criticalmeds should probably push sooner rather than later. He is. He's taking the tank fights now, tank trades. Trionega desperately trying to do as much damage to Bruzer at the same time, but Bruzer is still 4 ref 1 strip, so he hasn't. Although he did lose that strip and ref, he has managed to get himself back into the game. Looks like there's going to be too many tanks for Trionega to deal with right now. There's a lot of idle grens down here. I think Criticalmeds is just focusing on getting rid of those war factories. That is the main point now, to try and get Trionega out of this game. And you see Kano just sneakily scouting everything. Trionega is managing to clear up these tanks, but the next wave is coming. There's a lot of grenadiers there. They will clear up this ref. Bruzer has opted for that 5th ref, but it looks like the game is pretty much over. Trionega is selling up. That is GG. It is going to go 3-1 to Criticalmeds and Bruzer, and that will conclude the best of 5. Probably the best game was that Steps of War 1. It did last quite a while. It was quite back and forth, as well as the AOD map actually. The AOD map saw a lot longer game. I think that was like 14 minutes. We do like a good long game. The map was pretty much mined out if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's been a very good series.
Battle control terminated.
Obviously you can see that ref placement at the start messing with Kano's income. He did choose to long distance mine an area for his second ref, but then didn't alter that original harvester, so he was long distance mining as well as being on 2 ref. You can see where Trionega definitely got those 4 refs before the war factory, where Criticalmeds was on 3 refs before war factory. You can see that eco difference there as well. And Bruzer just being an eco madman, but he did lose a strip and a refinery, and that will conclude this series. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you in the next one.